My life is a concoction of signs. I get signs about absolutely everything in my life, from people who may be attracted to me, from career potential options, what I'm doing, what people are thinking of me, all these things, and I don't even care about half of it. There's people that are jealous, envious, want revenge, all that, and I just laugh. I'm just laugh because I'm like, I genuinely couldn't care less about any of that. I don't wish for others' downfall. I genuinely couldn't care less what anyone thinks about me, and all those things. It's irrelevant to my life. I think too many people they think their opinion of you is so significant it can actually derail and impact you, because rather than focus on their life, they're so heavily focused on yours, which is mental because I'm only focused on mine. You know what I mean? So it's like it's delusional. It's crazy to me. Um, it doesn't slow me down. Nothing. So people's thoughts, feelings towards me, it doesn't slow me down at all. If I slow down, it's through my own personal choice and a habit and a lifestyle and a hobby or something, a distraction. That's the only reason I slow down is myself, not someone else. Um, so yeah, to put it out there. So it's one of the signs I get is that people think, like, some people think I'm fake and I'm doing other things, maybe some nefarious things in the background, or maybe I'm in a secret relationship, or maybe I have loads of people on the go. I haven't been single for as long as I've been single, and I haven't had romantic connection. I've had, all these things. It's like, if people want to fill gaps in and make a narrative to fill a story that they've played out in their head, then by all means, I'm the one that's living it, and I've actually documented it quite openly throughout. So you only have to click for a video, find a video from a few years ago, click that one, click that. It's been the same. It's been the same. I document everything. So I thought I'd just share how maybe boring my life is to the outside world, but to me, I'm peaceful. I'm tranquil. The one thing I want to say there is I'm a homebody. I always have been. I like being at home. Now, if I'm in a relationship, of course, I'll be more open to doing things, explore. I do want to do more travel, and I hope to do that maybe next year and going forward, but finances have to improve to do those things. But yeah, I want to have experiences just like everybody else, but I want positive experiences. I'm not someone who abuses my body. I don't abuse my mind. I don't abuse myself. So some people, what they may consider boring, I consider healthy for me. That's again, I'm not interested in trying to please people or try to make people have this sort of grand idea of me. Like, you hear that all the time. Like, what did you do at the weekend? I'm chilling out most weekends, every weekend. I'm relaxed, man. I'm not skydiving. I'm not partying. I'm not doing all this crazy shit. I'm not going to pretend to be anything other than myself because I just have no interest in it. So yeah, I'm just relaxed. And the other side to that is some people literally can't sit still and they're not comfortable at home. And I think that's something to maybe ponder, because if you can't make your home your sanctuary, so you don't feel safe there, or you don't feel happy, content, then there's something truly wrong, because that's where you should be creating your palace. That should be your paradise. That should be your place where you make yourself feel really comfortable. And it should get to the point where you're that comfortable that you don't mind if you stay there. Not saying that you should stay there all the time, but if you can't find peace at home, there's something seriously wrong. And I would then question who you've got around you and why your home does not feel peaceful, because that is literally the foundation for what we do after, in my opinion. Because if you can't build a place of safety and tranquility, then there's something inherently wrong, in my opinion. So I'm a homebody, always have been, but I also very peaceful at home. I'm tranquil. I'm all right. It's like people can just leave me for the year, and I'm good. I'll have days when I'm fed up. There'll be days when something gets to me. There'll be a weight on me, just like there is for everybody else. There'll be something happening in my life that makes me have to sort of like dig deep. Yeah. But when I break it down, I think, is it that big a deal today? Is it something that you can that isn't as big as you think it is? And then it's a case of like, what do you want to do today? Well, I've got loads around the house I can do. I'm chill. I am that chill. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to show how like dull. So like, for instance, I get signs of fame in the future. Like, I genuinely couldn't give a shit because I'm not interested in popularity contests. And most for celebrities that I've seen are boring as shit. Now you could put me in that category, and I thought about that myself. In all honesty, I thought about it yesterday. Weirdly enough, I thought celebrities are so boring. Like, when you hear them talk, sometimes I just think it's drab. And I thought, well, let's say my life's boring. I thought that's a celebrity lifestyle then, because celebrities inherently are not as exciting as you think they are. So some people go out their way to try to live an exciting life, and it actually doesn't conform to what actually is reality. It's just you forcing it. Yeah, so I had a little ponder about that, weirdly enough. But yeah, I'm just in my own little bubble, I'm just relaxed. You know, I don't care about any of those things. I'm not interested. I think that the further I get on my journey and older I get, I genuinely just I feel more reserved. I just feel like more back. You know, I don't want to be integrated too deep into the world because the world's chaotic at the moment. So I'm going to find peace in myself. So like I say, if there was like, if you was in the spotlight and there was paparazzi, go down there, be bored with me. Paparazzi are better off following people who want to be in the spotlight because then you'll have stories, headlines, and you'll have content. With me, they would just be camped outside, and there'd probably be no activity until bin day, or in the average period. Because I'm always like my mind's always firing. I'm always got something on. And I can find my own peace in my sanctuary, you know. So you know, sometimes I've even got my headphones on, so I wouldn't even know what's going on in the outside world. Like I could sit here doing this, I could be doing my gaming. I'll wear my headset, and sometimes when I watch films, because it offers like an immersive sound, and if I'm on my own, it's like it's just incredible. It's better than any TV speakers you could have. It's complete surround in your head, you know. So I might have it Bluetooth connected to my telly, and I'm just chilling my own little world. You know, I'm just relaxed, man. That's what I'm like. So like I could be like watching. I could be watching. At the moment, I'm digitizing my physical media collection, but I also enjoy my physical media collection. So I enjoy watching movies. I enjoy watching TV shows. You know, I like to back it up. I'm very computer literate, so I'm very much a geek in that sense. So I could spend time on the computer and just truly enjoy myself. Like even if it's just YouTube, I could be scouring the internet. I could be gaming. So I've got games on console. I've got games on a PC. Again, I could just do that, and I'm entertained. Then I've got my movies. Then I've got my TV show. Then you've got the streaming platforms if you want to go and check them out. Then I've got all my music collection. It don't stop. I've got books to read. I've got a huge backlog of that, and I've also got my books in development. That sometimes I'm like, I don't even care if it releases this year. And the other times I'm thinking, if I put my head down, I could probably release 3 still, like by the end of the year if I really wanted to. Because it's literally a huge edits that just need happening now. It's not really a lot of work. It's just edits, and I don't want to do it. So I keep putting it off. I genuinely don't care at the moment. But the day I do care, bosh, I could get a lot done. So yeah, I'm quite. So sometimes I'm distracted. You could argue it's distracting, but I'm just entertained. On the other side of that, I can be productive. So like I say, I could be backing up my physical media, DVDs, Blu-rays, and CDs and whatnot, and I could be making them digital files as MP3s and then video files. I could just sit there doing that, or I could just start working on my manuscripts for my books and all sorts of things. So there's a very productive side, and there's also a very entertained side, and it doesn't get boring for me because I've made my home my peaceful place. It's the place where I'm just like chill. So yeah, especially as the winter comes in, when the cold months come, you just become more. I hibernate like a bear. I'm worse in the winter than I am in the summer. Um, yeah, so I actually prefer spring because I feel like that's when you get to go out and explore and go on holidays and do things, and it's like this is nice. And then the winter comes, and then we start to relax and chill. But yeah, I'm on the face of it, my life's pretty boring. But it's it's the boredom. What boring to some people is literally my happy place. I really couldn't care less. You know, I might start getting. There's things I'm going to start doing more of. I may do. And, you know, I used to like baking a long time ago. Like I used to like doing that. I might even start making time to do baking more. And I think I should be preparing dinners more rather than rushing it and just putting crap on. So there's going to be a side to that. There's another side where I want to start being a bit more proactive with my health. So I just want to start exercising again. And that'll only be at home. I'm not going to no gym. Back in when there was a crisis with my daughter, for instance, there was a period where about 3 months where I just exercised at home. It wasn't like crazy. I wasn't like mental. It was that I got an exercise bike, so I went on there, and you started off progressively. You know, so you don't push yourself too hard because it's boring, it's monotonous, and your body aches. You start pushing yourself a bit more as you go. So I was on that longer. Then I was just doing light weights, just doing that, and then some sit ups and press ups and things. And it was literally just doing that, but you disciplined enough to do it on a regular basis to the point where my body just slimmed like crazy. I looked really healthy. And I even had a 6-pack showing, not like deep 6-pack. It was just the fact that my body was that, I felt was that pristine to a degree that it started to show. And now I've been put on weight because I just like my chocolate. You know, I like my chocolate. I like my sodas. I like sugar. You know, it's not good though, is it? And I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that you can literally go in a I'm not say crisis, but it can end up a crisis, can't it? So effectively, your health diminishes, your body doesn't look as good as it could, and And it's like just by changing habits. So I want to start having more fruit in my life. I've just got some waters, and I remember how I did to get there, and I'm hopeful I can get there again. But again, that's willpower. Do I care enough? We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, we've got those all these little things to do that just keep my mind firing, and so so you be healthy and all those things. There is something else, a pet project I'm going to be doing as well. So a while ago, I did a DVD about my daughter. I also did one for me. So effectively, it was all the little moments from the moment she was born that I had on record. There was some that was lost, unfortunately, because back then it wasn't as archived, in terms of like what the cameras we had and all those things. But yeah, so this is from birth pretty much to 7 years old. She's now 15 years old. But over the past few years, we haven't really documented our time together. We just get on enjoying ourselves. It's not so much us together. Like I might record her, or she might record me, or it's not usually documenting it anymore. It's more just experiencing our time together. So I don't know how much footage I've got, but I do want to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extract this video because I don't think I've got a backup. So thankfully I've got my DVD drive that I've been doing my films, and it's a DVD anyway. So I can extract this. So I've got the original, and then I can start integrating some new music overlays. Because you don't have to worry about copyright when it's your own personal work. You can put any song you want over the background to fit. And then I'll get some photos and videos, and I'm going to try and make a new disc for us, and I think it'd be really nice. And because I've got Blu-ray discs now rather than DVD, I can put an awful lot of content on it because the storage is that big. And I think that's going to be really cool. So I'm hopeful I can, but it's getting but then I've got time on my hands. I can do it. So I'm going to hopefully get the footage I want, make a new disc for us to watch. And it's archived tonight. And I like that. That'll be incredibly precious to me. Yeah. So that's something I want to do because I haven't thought about doing that for a while. And it's like, that's something that's dear to my heart, like having an archive really of her childhood. So yeah, I'll be doing that. Like I said, I'm digitizing my content, but I do realize that I've got discs everywhere, man. I'm going to show slightly now. I've gone off track a little bit. Let me just get it up. All right, let me just move this over. So this is my physical media collection. Now you might see gaps in the shelves because they're all over my floor at the moment around my desk, where I'm trying to back them up. It's actually outrageous at the moment. Yeah, so I just recorded this morning just to show what it looks like to a degree. So that's my DVDs, Blu-rays. On top, we've got VHS there. They're actually box sets. Rocky arrived sealed. I was like, holy crap, that's brand new. Which means if I actually open it and use it, the quality is going to be perfect. There's going to be absolutely no issue with the footage. But at the moment, I don't need to because I've got it on Blu-ray as well. I just really want to preserve some. So the VHS tapes at the moment, I can't preserve because I don't have a video capture card for the computer or anything. So at the moment, it's just the Blu-rays and DVDs. But there's enough of them. Oh, there's enough of them. There is a method to the madness at the moment. So what I'm doing, I'm not doing just one shelf. So for instance, this shelf here is my sci-fi stuff. So that's where my Star Wars, but the box set's here. So that's what I mean. That's why there's gaps. I've got a big old box set here for the Star Wars. Another Star Wars. It's just, yeah, that's just why there's gaps in the shelves because I'm actually in the middle of doing it. But yeah, that's that. So I figured if I just did sci-fi, like I said in another video where I'm digitizing my content, it's for if I travel. Obviously, it's backup as well in case there's any issue with the disc. Some of them are actually scratched, and it's like I'm thinking, I'm not sure the DVD player would read that. The first disc to Big Bang Theory, for instance, on season 1, the first disc was scratched, and it took me a while before I had to keep trying to rub it and I managed to salvage it, and I've got digital now. So if that disc never works, I've still got all of the raw videos on my computer now. And I want to do the whole lot. I've got up to season 8 on disc. I'll try and get the others later on. But overall, I want to get them all digitized anyway, because I do watch it a lot. I'm quite repetitive with Big Bang Theory. I like watching that on like Prime or Netflix. I moved away from Netflix because it's on Prime. So Prime has a lot of stuff I like watching as well. And I use that for orders and deliveries and all sorts. But I want a digital one though, in case prices go up or there's an issue. I can just watch it at home through that. So it doesn't even matter. But yeah, anyway. That's the point. I want a variety of content digitized in advance rather than one genre. Because if you went traveling or you had to go anywhere, you want to have a variety of content to consume. If you're not in the mood to watch like sci-fi, for instance, And then it's like, well, that's all I've got. That's crap. Let's have TV shows. Let's have a different genres filled a little bit, and then start having more. But it is very slow, long-winded process to turn these into digital files. And I can't help but think, if I do this for the next 2 or 3 months, which is what it's going to be, like it'll be everyday madness, which is a lot to ask of anyone. I'm thinking I could just release a book though. Like the effort I'm doing to do that, I could be doing my book. And I think that's where my mind's saying you should be doing multiple things rather than just do that, which my mind could easily do that because I go down a rabbit hole. I think if I keep my awareness, it'd be the case of do that, but then also work on your book. Also, you can play your video games. Also, you can watch your movies, you watch your TV shows. All of a sudden, you're doing different things throughout the day. My days can't be bored. I cannot be bored. There's too much. I kid you not. At the moment, like for instance, I'm in the middle of playing The Last of Us 2. I've finished The Last of Us, the first one, about 3 or 4 times. I love it. It's one of my favourite games ever. My daughter, because she was with me in the holidays, rather than me playing it, because I started playing it again, because I'd left it for a long time before I got another console. I let her play it, and she literally completed it, and it was a massive thing. Like about 40 hours, I think she had to put into that one. It's like a nightmare to a degree. And I didn't want to keep playing it and stop, like, and then she, because we're just playing over each other, you know. So I thought I was just going to wait until she goes home, and then I'll play it. So now I'm playing it in bits, but I'm only playing it for like an hour here, 2 hours there, around other stuff. I'm really enjoying Star Wars at the moment. I haven't liked Star Wars my whole life, but all of a sudden I'm understanding the story. I'm following it, and I'm freaking fell in love with it. So that's nice. So that's what I say. I'm not even I'm trying to mix things up. I've literally just everything's just mixed up. I've got things to do. I've literally got 3 manuscripts to finish for my books, and even after they're done, I've got other ideas like things for history, mythology, and all sorts of stuff that I've not done previously. And even maybe a novel I could write, something just like, because I have an idea for one, but I don't have the energy for it, to be totally honest. But maybe one day I will, maybe one day I won't. Songwriting, I like the idea of dabbling. So it's all things I can do creatively if I choose to. Plus I do these videos and I do all sorts of shit, you know. So the point is, this is all at home. I'm good. I'm chill. So if anyone thinks, oh, he's really, he might say this on the outside and out internal, he's partying, he's sleeping with all these people. I'm not a crazy person. I you know, even if I had a desire to go meeting women, for instance, and getting up to shit, it's like I can't. I cannot do that. I just can't. Even if I wanted to do that, I can't do that because of the ramifications of it. You know, there's too much chaos that comes from that lifestyle. You know, you get false allegations against you and all that sort of shit. But then also, what happens if you end up having a child that you didn't expect to have? I'm not going to disrupt my life and my daughter's life for something so stupid, just for a moment of weakness. I'm not a weak-minded person, so I have a lot of willpower. I have a lot of self-control. You know, I have a lot of boundaries and respect of myself. So yeah, there's periods that it is hard to go alone this long. You do miss that intimacy, the physical intimacy, but then also the stimulant of being around someone, you know, who gets it. I do miss that for sure, but I can exist without it too. So it's fine, you know. Like the thing about me is I'm not a desperate person. So I want someone who will stimulate my mind. I want someone who I consider strong. I'm not looking for a weak-minded person. I'm not looking for someone just to pander to me. I'm not looking for someone who doesn't challenge me, because that's boring. It's not like challenge me to try and keep nagging at me, because that would do me head in. I don't need someone nagging. But it's like stimulate in conversation and things. You know, it challenges your thought processes, and you know, I'm not looking for someone who just agrees with me on every concept. It's like it'd be nice to have like an intellectual debate that's respectful. You know, you're not trying to wind each other up, and you're not getting angry at someone else's opinion. You can understand that. I get where you're coming from, and I don't necessarily agree with it entirely, but I get where I understand the premise, and I respect the fact that's what you think, but it doesn't necessarily how I think. And I think you can agree to disagree without it being so freaking spiteful and like, you know. But anyway, I want someone like that, someone that really you can just have an interesting life that doesn't have to be interested in exciting. You know, you don't have to go jumping out of airplanes for life to be exciting. It can be exciting just by literally being in their presence and being stimulated in all these different ways. That's what I seek. So I'm not looking for plain Jane, someone boring, someone who's just doesn't challenge themselves and they don't challenge you. You know, I'm not looking for that. That's dull. That's boring, and I don't want to consider people boring. But I evidently know what I'm looking for, and it's such a rare gem. But I won't accept any less. So I would rather just be alone than just accept anybody in my life, because it'd be boring for me. It wouldn't be fair for them, and inevitably you end up going back around this merry-go-round of shit, and then it'll end up in chaos anyway. And I don't need that in my life. I've built a sanctuary of peace in my life to a degree. Yeah, I might say some controversial things because that's genuinely what I think. So I would never go against anything I've said and think, oh, God, does that piss someone off? I genuinely couldn't care less if it winds anybody up, because I don't even care for what people say about me. So people should just be stronger in themselves. But in my private life, I'm relaxed. I don't carry things in my life too much. When someone says something or does this, it doesn't really change my self-esteem in some any way. It's like I'll continue. I can have an argument with someone, and they might get really angry or they might cry, and it's like I'm ambivalent. I'm like chill after. I'm just getting on with whatever I'm doing. It does. I don't carry things on. Anyway, I just thought I'd really share that little bit there. But I thought I might show while I'm here. I'll just share some of the progress. Really, I'm going to probably mute the. In fact, I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm going to just mute audio for this because I don't want any sort of what do you call it? Copyright strikes. Although I probably will have them anyway. So what we've got here is these are raw files from my Last of Us. So I've backed my Last of Us discs just to prove I have the discs. This isn't some slimy thing here. I've got the discs, The Last of Us on Blu-ray, and all I've done is took the chapters, the episodes, and I've made the digital ones of them. So they've all come from specific discs. It's usually about 2 or 3, but I think it's like 2 on each disc, and then one of them had 3 or something like that. So these are the raw ones. I'm not sure if we're going to get it on. Let me see if we can do it. Try and do it big screen and see if we can do it. So this is exactly how it is on Blu-ray. This is no editing at all. This is literally just me extracting it from the disc. Try and move it across a bit. So anyway, yeah, it's moved over a little bit. It's not my screen. Let me just move it back. But anyway, that's the raw one. That's episode. Actually, I can't show like for like because these are the ones I've still got to process into smaller file sizes. So that's 18 gig. Most of them are 10, 12. But if we go to The Last of Us now, should have 2 episodes. Yeah. So I did these last night. I did a lot last night. It's crazy. This is literally what I'm doing. So someone might think, oh, he's living an exciting life. I'm really just sitting here doing this shit. Believe me, I'm relaxed. Let me just turn it off at my end. Yeah. So this is now my edited one because I've dropped the file size. So all I've done is made the video quality a little bit less, but enough that I can watch it and it's fair. So it's only taken up about 2 gigabyte, I think, now. So instead of 12 or 18, it's 2. It looks fine, doesn't it? So anyway, that's what I was doing, 2 gig that. And we've got another one there. So I'm going to get The Last of Us done. So what I was doing in between, just to put it in clarification here, I've got 2 boxes open, which I showed in another video. Yeah, I've got 2 boxes open. One is the extracting of the files. The other's compressing it to make it smaller. But while that's going on, I've just been watching In-Betweeners. I love In-Betweeners. I don't know if Americans know what In-Betweeners is, but it's school-age people, but they're a good group of lads, but they're a bit filthy the way they talk, but like they all have their own little personalities, and it's just so funny. It's so funny. And yeah, I've just been watching that while I'm in between. So while that's going on, I'm just watching that. Then when the video's ready to be switched over, I'll do that, and I'll continue watching where I left off. So I've got them on DVD, which these are the digital files from the DVDs, over 3 DVDs. There's 3 series. And then I started doing Big Bang Theory. So I've managed to do all of season 1, which is great because that's at the bare minimum we want a season. I'm organising it like that. So season 1 DVD. If we go here, and this takes a while. This is a whole bloody process doing all this. So this is final because I've condensed the video quality a little bit. But again, I wouldn't say that's poor. And that's the whole series now. So, like for instance, if I get fed up paying for subscription services, I've obviously got the discs, or I can just sit there and just watch it like this. And I'm going to get a flash drive where I can put them on there anyway, and you can plug them into a TV. Because TVs have USB sockets anyway for media. You can literally just do that, plug it in and watch them from that. So you're not reliant on streaming. That's my Big Bang Theory. The 70s show I've got, that's very rare in the UK, your 70s show. So I'm definitely backing that up. And I do like the 70s show. Yeah, it's so great. So we're gonna have them. That'll all be done eventually sometime. But again, this is what I'm doing in the background. You know, I'm just sitting here. Like people might think, oh, he's doing this, doing that. I really ain't. This is what I'm doing. I'm literally explaining what I'm doing. I'm watching movies. I'm watching TV shows. I'm backing them up. I'm playing video games. I'm relaxing. I've got my book project. Like I said, I've got that's literally the day. This is my days on a regular basis. But I'm relaxed and I'm enjoying it because I enjoy watching films. I can't find it now. I haven't got a link. I don't think. Wait a minute. I might be able to quickly do it. If we get the link, if it works, come on. Link tree. If you go here where Letterboxd is, there's one called Letterboxd. This is actually my profile. So every time I watch a film, I actually sit there. So I'll sit on the sofa or sit on the bed, mainly the sofa. And I'm about to watch a film or I'm watching it, and I'll add it to my list of films I'm watching. So you go over here, diary at the top, and it literally tells you all the films. So I just started adding this since July, and I was trying to think of the films I watched in June. So June ones might not be the exact dates, but July was pretty much from about Spider-Man, Dirty Girl. Yeah, around about the 20th was exact dates. And I watched. It shows me a variety of films. Like, what have I actually been watching? What do I think of that film? It's annoying you can't put TV shows. So there might be gaps between films, but then in that period, I might have been playing games, or I might have been watching some TV shows instead. So it doesn't really show the whole story. But what you'll see here is I've got mental with Star Wars. I watched Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. So that's the first trilogy. Then I've watched the second trilogy, which is Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Then I started the third trilogy, but I missed a film. I don't think, this one. I didn't realize this film because I didn't know the whole series. I thought I had all the discs. So I had, is it The Return of Skywalker or something? Something Skywalker. And I thought that was the next one. It turned out I was missing The Last Jedi. So I was like, crap, I'm not going to watch that one before this one. So I had to wait for that to arrive. That's why there's a gap. So it's the 30th of August now. That the last one was the 27th. So I've just been doing this stuff in the interim. But later on today, I intend to go on a bit of a Star Wars spree. So the 30th may have, I reckon, about 2 more Star Wars films today in the evening. Yeah. But anyway, so then that takes us into September. But I've got 3 more Star Wars films to watch. I've got this one, the Skywalker, and Han Solo, the Solo one. And yeah, I've truly enjoyed that. And then I've got a huge amount of films to watch after this. So that's their ones. And then if we just go back into this, I've got sections. You see, I've started to split the films up. Another video you might have seen, that was just everywhere. Now I've done action, adventure. I've just done all different ones. So I've got my Halloween ones here. I would consider Halloween and things like that. Post-apocalyptics, that's I Am Legend. Comedy would probably have the most at the moment. A bit diverse. I want something from maybe the 90s, and I want some other stuff, maybe more modern. It's just mix it up while I can. Disaster films. We've got Armageddon, Dante's Peak, Daylight, Twisters. There'll be more. So eventually, these will be filled with all my films. So everything that's downstairs in my collection will eventually be digitized. But I can't force myself to do it like one after another, because it's just like, it's going to drive my mind mad, because it's a whole process. There must be thousands. There must be at least 1,000. There must be. Like, I don't even know how many's on each shelf, but shelf. There's films everywhere. I don't know. I don't know how many films there are, but I know there's a lot, and it's just too much to do like that. And I don't want to burn this disk drive out either. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get too hot, because last thing I want is this just being absolutely obliterated because I'm doing on an industrial scale or something, when it's just for my own personal use. So I've got to be mindful of that. It's putting that through a lot of stress, which I've got to be careful with them. But yeah, so this is a whole process. Even if I didn't have my books to do, I didn't play video games, I didn't watch films, and I didn't watch TV shows, and all I wanted to do was make a digital archive of my films, that's probably going to take me a few months. Just that on its own. But I've got other things, I do like playing games, my video games. I enjoy sitting on the sofa playing on PlayStation, but I do like sitting at the PC, and I play different variety of games. And I can go through periods where I'm just doing that and I'm not even watching films. And you might start thinking the film collection's a waste of money. You don't use it. I know I don't use it all the time, but I'll go through it in periods where I'm using it a lot. And personally, I'm not even trying. I'm making a conscious decision to watch more films than I am focusing on gaming, because films are a lot cheaper than video games for starters. And I think it's easy to lose track of that and stop and lose sight of films when they're so entertaining if you get the ones you enjoy. But this year now, I'm really forcing myself not to buy any more films, because if anyone's seen my TikTok, you'd see I've bought a lot over a sustained period at the moment, over the past 2 months. That I've bought a lot, and I know I have, but it's been filling gaps in my library. Going into next year, I want to buy more cassette tapes for my tape player, so music. But when I bought the tape player earlier in the year, I didn't realize cassette tapes are actually more expensive than I thought they were. So then it started to be like, wait, that's not really viable at the moment. It's not sustainable. It's not really what I want. But I do want to collect a few more. So if I'm collecting physical media later in next year, early next year, whatever, I'll probably be going towards cassette tapes just because that's something that's missing. There'll always be a film, so I'm adding to Amazon all the time, or there might be like an older film that I'm adding to the used stores in the UK, like Music Magpie CEX, just to remember the films and go, oh yeah, I want to get that. But I'm mindful because I know if I buy that, I'm going to buy that. Then if I buy that, I'm going to buy that. So I'm not getting any of them. I've got enough to what? When I think about it, if you're looking at it for the rest of the year, we're coming up to September now. Between now and Christmas, I've got more than enough. The only time I'm probably going to buy anything is if I recognise there's maybe a Christmas film I haven't got that I could do with, because I think it's important to enjoy the seasons. I've got enough for Halloween now. I can't envisage there being anything that I'm missing personally, especially when I know what my mindset's like. So I know my mind. I've got an addictive personality to a degree, not in an unhealthy way that I would consider unhealthy. I've got an addictive personality in the sense that I'm a collecting person. I like to acquire things. I like to have things, and I don't like waiting. I've got an impatience problem, and these are things I'm working on. But I have a collective mindset, so I do know if I start buying a couple of films, I'll probably buy a few films. If I buy a few films, it could be escalating to box sets and all sorts of shit, and it just plays you down a rabbit hole. It's a bit like if you wanted to buy a Marvel film and you start going, I'm going to get Iron Man. Oh, now I've got Iron Man. Now I can get 4. Oh, if I've got 4, now I can get Captain America. Oh, if I've got Captain America, I might as well get Spider-Man. If I've got Spider-Man, I might as well get Avengers. If I've got Avengers, I might as well get Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, I might as well get X-Men. You see what I mean? It just goes one after another, like snowballs. Hulk. It's like, you got to know when to stop. So I've stopped with that for now because I don't want to keep hemorrhaging money. Yeah, and at the moment I'm just weighing up subscription services right now because I know you've said it's not a lot. You can think it's not a lot of money, but I've got to think how much I'm using it. Is it worth it? For instance, I'm playing The Last of Us 2 at the moment on PS5. I'm enjoying on PC. I'm enjoying some of the Star Wars games that are also on PS5, but I've got an ultra wide monitor on my computer, and I'm enjoying playing the Star Wars games on my computer. But there is Spider-Man games I like as well, and I can play like Miles Morales. I think it's about £15 on disc, or you can subscribe for a month to PlayStation Plus for about £13 a month. You get online, you get an awful lot of other games you can play, and you think that's better. But you have to pay the £13 every month to access the games to play. Or you just buy the disc or digital store, of course. So at this moment, I'm weighing up whether I want to buy Miles Morales, because it can probably wait a month anyway, or do I just do the subscription and just get on with it? Because most games are going to be digital in the future anyway. So that's a question in my mind at the moment. Do I want to collect physical media for the current gen consoles when I think personally either next gen or the gen after is going to be digital only? And we're seeing other ways to enjoy the content through streaming. So they're they're trying to integrate consoles where you can stream the games as well. So if you've got a physical copy of a game, you're not going to be able to stream it, are you? So for instance, PlayStation have got the handheld console, Portal. I think it's Portal. They may bring out another one, and you'll be able to you can remote play it from your console. So if you've got a digital copy of the game, it'll just automatically load the game up, won't it, from the digital library that's installed on your console. But if it's a disc, it's going to need you to physically go and put that disc in to play on your handheld. So that becomes a process. Especially when you can actually remote play that from a different location. You could be in a different house across the country or even across the world. Log in through it's actually quite remarkable. But that just shows that physical media isn't always the answer for every platform. And I think gaming's moved away from that. And I'm thinking this generation, I might move away from it too. Like the previous generations were fine, because the games were over. Right, nowadays, you need patches, you need all sorts of things. And I'm not sure. So, anyway, digressing, but my mind's always focusing on so many things. So, if anyone thinks for a moment like I'm doing anything that I'm not doing, it's like, if it feels a narrative, by all means, But if you listen to me, I think it's quite evident. Like, I'm relaxed, man. I'm just sitting here. A lot of the time, I'm a simple person. I can't make it any clearer than that. I'm chill. I've got so many book projects that could last me a lifetime. Anyway, there's things that last me a lifetime. So I'm just experiencing new things. Of course, I'm open to other experiences, travel and all sorts of things in the future if opportunities come. But things have to align with me, and I don't put up with crap. So even if a massive career breakthrough come, people better be transparent with me, because if I don't trust them, I'm not taking any offers anyway. And if they and then, like, what are they? I don't mind people expecting something in return if it's fair, but don't have a hidden agenda. That's one of the things with me. So, like, for instance, don't offer me the world and then you don't disclose what it is you're expecting. And at some point, you're expecting me to be your dancing pony when I never said I would, because you'll find that I'll say no because I never agreed to it. So no one should ever expect me to do something that I've never said I'll do. Don't fill in the gaps with me. That's no good. You're better off being honest with me, be transparent. I'll either give you a yes or a no, but at least you know where you stand. Because if you think you're filling gaps in and you think I'm going to dance like a moron because I'm scared of letting anything go, you believe me, I let anything go. All I ask is people are honest and fair. Once someone lies to me, I lose respect for them. So the worst thing anyone can do is be manipulative. Just be honest, and then you'll get an honest reaction from me. So it might be something I'm thinking, no, well, I'd rather not, but I might think, to be honest, it's fair that I do. So there might be times when you might think I'm naturally going to say no, and I might surprise it with a yes, But at least then it's fair. Everyone knows where they stand. That's what I'm like. But anyway, if just as an example, well, not that, with my chilling, relaxed attitude, this is my biscuits, my cookies. I like that. And then I have my hot drink, like tea or coffee. I like dunking them in, just sit there eating. I'm just chilling, man. I'm in my own little vibe and I'm happy. I'm happy enough in that, you know. This is another, I'm a gadgety person. This is my iPod Classic. So this is like me trying to preserve digital, the end of the CD, but the beginning of the birth of iPod with the MP3s and stuff. And it's nostalgic. And this little dongle on top allows me to use my headphones. Yeah, I could use, because I've got noise cancelling on these on my AirPod Pros, so you can literally connect it to that through that. And this works as a transmitter as well, so it can and a receiver, so you can actually send. So if you had a different device, you could send music to it. So if you did that through your stereo or something, pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to keep yapping. I've actually got shopping I've supposed to put away. But I come to do this video, weirdly enough. God knows why. Just thought I'd clarify something that potentially didn't even need clarifying. But I think realistically, what I want people to see, not necessarily about my life, I just want people to make peace with the fact that life doesn't always have to be super exciting. Like, I think when you keep trying to live up to other people's expectations and lifestyles is just a route for failure. It's that you're just going to be exhausted. You're going to feel fake. And you're never going to feel like you fit in because you're doing everything that's not you to make other people feel like you're worth investing in or fun. Being fun is subjective. It depends on the community, sort of like what other people expect. But yeah, I don't do what the average person does. I'm not like, for instance, I'm not a nightlife person. And I find that in workplaces, everyone always talks about like going drinking at night and doing this. I'm thinking at night, mate, I'm chilling out. I'm watching films and shit. I ain't going nowhere. You won't get me budged an inch. And I'm so stubborn anyway. So like the lifestyle they live that they think's exciting and they think you're boring, is I really couldn't give a shit because I wouldn't swap places with you if you threw all the money in the world at me. It's like, I don't want that. You go and live your life of drama. I'm going to live in my little place of sanctuary in my peas and just leave me alone in that space and I'm chill. And I only want very special people around me. That's it. I don't want a massive community. I don't ask for it. I don't desire it. I'm all right. So I'm really happy when my daughter's home because she's like an extension of myself. Like, we're just in the fact that we're both so similar. It's just it's not exhausting. It's fun. So it just elevates my life, and that's nice. But you bring the wrong person into that environment, and it's just going to be heavy, draining, exhausting and frustrating, and you're just going to want to freaking escape, So it's just, I don't want that in my life. I don't want to feel like I don't want to be at home. I don't want to feel like that. Doesn't mean you have to have this strong attachment to staying home all the time. But when I am alone, I've always said that. This is the thing with my personality. I can be the social butterfly. I can be the life of the party. I can get on with so many groups of people, and people genuinely enjoy, like, they're fun around me. But I also have another side to me that can literally be like a hermit for the rest of my life. I could literally have a log cabin in the woods and just keep to myself and I'll be all right. So there's two sides to my side. There's polarizing, but there's two sides to my personality. And I've always said that the longer I go into isolation, the more I'm likely to stay there. And I've even been transparent with that. And I've said that if it goes much further, I will just make peace of it and I won't want to do anything else. Because I'm good either way, But so like I said when I went at the beginning there, I get signs of a breakthrough. But I argue with the universe. I'm like, I don't care. You're telling me this is coming, but I don't care if give a shit anymore. Like, I don't care about any of that. It's like you're saying this is going to come. People are going to recognize you. You're going to overnight success. And I'm like, I don't even care about any of that anymore, though. I don't care about that. Why didn't you just give me that? Why didn't you make the doors open when I had the energy to do it and I wanted to do it? Now I couldn't even give a shit. Like, the work's there. People can enjoy it. You don't need me to be front and center. People don't need an audience with me. You can just freaking read my books now and watch the content. It's there. And then I can keep to myself. And that's what I'm saying. It's getting more like that, where I don't care. I'm not saying that to preempt anything. I'm literally just explaining where I'm at in my life. I'm all right in my little bubble of peace. So, like I say, if I've got people gossiping in my life and they have little gossip parties, and I know family members, like my half sisters, I'm going to make points of this now. This is what I'm going to do now, rather than say sisters, because like when I've got siblings, they're all my half siblings or step, and they are different to me. And for so long, I just keep calling them brothers and sisters and things, and it's like, but we don't even get on anymore. Like, I've set boundaries with them, so I'm distinguishing them from me now, and they're because they are my half sisters and half brothers and step. I don't have any sibling that's a full sibling, like father and mother. That doesn't, so they're halves. So all of my siblings are half or step. So if those half want to gossip about me and their little whatever, it's like, by all means, you can do that. If my ex-partner chooses to gossip about me, she can. I don't think she is anymore. But we both moved on with our lives to a degree. Life. What's the point of staying in one place like that? It's not good, healthy for anyone. Just get on with it. But yeah, like I say, any noise that wants to yap, that it has no effect. It really doesn't. It's just you think you're being important when really just wasting your life talking about something and someone that really doesn't give a shit about what you've got to say. What's the point? And like I say, I'm just busy being me. I'm all right.